Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Bonkekook here, aka the Lonely Achievement God, and I am coming at you with another 100% achievement walkthrough today. We are going to be taking a look at the game Void Gore. It is published by East Asia Soft, developed by Panda Indie Studio, and was released as an homage to the 9-year anniversary of my only sanctioned 300 game in 10-pin bowling. It is such an honor for them to have remembered my bowling achievements with their release date, and I just can't believe that they cared that much about me to be able to do that. And that is, of course, a lie, but it is cool that it launched on the 9-year anniversary of my 300 game, which was on February 17th of 2021. And it is currently purchasable for a price of $4.99 in US currency. So, we're doing something a little different with this. I have captured this footage already, and I am talking over it. Real quickly, let's just jump in some of the quick things you guys like to know when you come to the video. My first run of this game, completely blind, took me about an hour. The footage that we are going to be covering in the video guide here, it took me about 35 minutes to get 1000 G, so, split the difference. I expect 45 to 50 minutes. For most of you starting the game out, if you follow my guide here, I have some tips and tricks for getting through the game that will make it significantly easier than my first blind playthrough was. So I wouldn't expect to take an hour unless you completely ignore all of the tips I give you, in which case you might spend about an hour. But if you get incredibly lucky, you may be able to get all of your 1000 gamer score in about 30 to 35 minutes, as we do in the footage that I captured here. We are doing the footage, recording audio over the footage for two reasons. Number one, I wanted to have the game noise going on in the background. This game is, I don't want to say it's boring, but there isn't a lot of content in the runs. So like in Project Starship or in Null Drifter, there are bosses. There are things that break up the monotony of the normal enemies coming at you, and there's nothing like that in this game. Unless you purchase a certain power-up that spawns a boss in level 10, the enemies that spawn in to attack you stay the same throughout all of the, likely throughout all of your playthrough. So there isn't a lot to cover on the initial runs where I'm just dying a lot. It's the same repetition over and over again, and there's not really any reason to show all of that. So what we're going to do is, as you can see there, the achievement list is about to be covered, and we're going to run through all 18 achievements, talking about what we need to do. We're going to do the first run or two of the game and cover some of the basics, what enemies you should be trying to kill, which ones you should be avoiding early on, and then we're going to skip ahead in the footage to my really good run, and we're going to cover that and play through that to the end of the video. So I hope this isn't too confusing for you guys and gals. Again, I wanted to include the relevant footage as to what you need to do to get your 1000 gamer score, and there's really no point in covering the first 15 minutes where I just die a lot and nothing really changes. So let's go ahead. Let's get started here. We have 18 achievements for 1000 gamer score. Most of the achievements are cumulative across all of your playthroughs, so as long as you beat your head against the wall long enough, you will unlock all of these. The first three here are for killing enemies, and the third level is for killing 500 foes. As long as you kill 10 foes and play the game 50 times, you will unlock that achievement. The next three achievements are for collecting coins. Coins drop from most enemies in the game, but not all. This is a cumulative one again, and don't worry, as long you can spend the coins, and it will still unlock the 2000 achievement when you have collected 2000 of them. The next three achievements, I'm going to pause the footage real quick and go over because it is a little misleading. It says you need to collect 32 upgrades. Upgrades are what you purchase in between your runs. You can purchase HP increases, fire rate increases, damage increases, that kind of stuff. When you kill some of the more powerful enemies that come in through the game, they will drop upgrades. And I consider them to be power-ups, and I wish the achievement had said power-ups. It would be a little more clear what it means. They are the same thing that you purchase permanently in between your runs, but they are temporary for your run until you die. So, for example, the really good run that we're going to be watching that got me the achievements a little bit quicker in this game, I was able to get a lot of HP upgrades, which is just kind of random. I was able to get to the 11th level with 5 hit points and managed to survive till the 12th level, which will likely be your last achievement, but we'll cover that when we get there. So these upgrades can be the difference between you getting your achievements in 50 minutes and getting your achievements in 35 to 40. So, but it has nothing to do with the upgrades in between your runs. There is actually no achievement for that as far as I'm aware. And more than likely you'll get this achievement far before you get the kills or the coin hunter level 3 achievement, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. The next 3 achievements are the only level progression achievements. They call them hells. I'm going to call them levels so that it's not too confusing. They are for reaching the 3rd level, the 6th level, and the 12th level. You will more than likely reach the 6th level within your first run or two, and the game gets exponentially more difficult after that. Level 10 and 11 are really long. The enemies become bullet sponges. So level 12 should be your last achievement. As you can see on the screen there, it is the only one that doesn't have 100% of gamers unlocked this under its description. So it's not overly difficult, but it is probably the most difficult Panda Indie Studio title to get all 1000 gamer score in that we've covered. So again, don't worry about it too much. You can keep playing through the game and purchasing all the upgrades, and once you purchase all the upgrades, this achievement should be relatively easy. Along with the tips that I'm going to be giving you. The next 3 achievements here are the Shield Killer achievements, and they are related to the new mechanic that Panda Indie Studio put into the game. If you played their other titles, they have dash moves that they have implemented for their shmups. In this game, you have a bubble shield that expands out around your ship, and there's a percentage meter along the right side of the screen. When the percentage is less than 100%, you can detonate the shield to destroy any enemy bullets that are in the shield. So obviously use them to protect yourself from getting hit by bullets. If you let it build up to 100%, it will flash red, and you can detonate your shield to kill enemies. And this is very important to learn how to do that. As I mentioned earlier, level 10 and 11 become much longer, and the enemies become bullet sponges, but the shield is still an instant kill. So you want to learn how to use your shield to protect yourself from bullets and use it to kill enemies so that you're not spending 10 seconds trying to kill a single enemy on some of those later levels. It will save you time, and I mean 10 seconds is a lot of time to be dodging bullets in these games. So I highly recommend using your first run or 2 or 3 to get used to the shield and trying to figure out how best to use it to not only protect yourself and balance that with being able to kill some of the more difficult enemies. So for these shield killer achievements, you have to kill 64 foes with your shield, and that shouldn't be too much trouble. As I said, you're going to want to learn how to do that to get deeper into the game anyways. And the last 3 achievements are for getting a certain amount of score. Don't worry about them at all. There's going to be so much going on the screen that you will not even have time to pay attention to what your score is. There is a combo multiplier, but again, so much is going to be happening on the screen, you're not going to have time to worry about your score. I'm pretty sure, and you can confirm this once we get there, but my excellent run that I did, that I made it to wave 12 or level 12, excuse me, I got like 175,000 points, and so the score runner level 3 is 50k, so I wouldn't worry about it too much as long as you are going for the level 12 achievement as well. I can't imagine you getting to level 12 and not getting this achievement. So Really, it's more about just banging your head against the wall and playing repeatedly until you get enough upgrades to make the game a little easier for you. So we're going to jump in here. We have a brief tutorial. I'm going to just explain things very quickly here. On the left side of the screen, you have your heart and the hit points below that. So we could be hit twice before we die. On the right side of the screen is your bubble shield and your percentage below it. The percentage is limited to 75% for the tutorial, and it will be unlocked to 100% to give you the tutorial on how to use it to kill enemies. If you lose your shield, the outer portion will turn red and danger will appear, but you're gonna, again, there's so much that's going on the screen, you're probably not gonna notice that all that much. In the upper right hand corner of the game itself, you'll see the 6 zeros for your point total and the combo multiplier beneath it. Again, so much is going to be going on, you're probably not going to have time to pay attention to that. And then the upper left tells you what hell level you are at and how much money you have collected on this current run. That is not your cumulative total of money, so just nice to know that. So we have our A button to fire. The B button detonates the shield. The left analog or the D-pad is your movement. You can choose whichever you prefer. I prefer the analog for this game personally. But as you can see, when the bullets are in your circle, you can press B and it will destroy the bullets. And then once you let it build up to 100%, it will flash red and you can press B to destroy enemies with it. As I've said many times, learn how to do that. First things first, do not try to kill the basic eyeball enemies that come at you. Focus on those red enemies with the teeth. The eyeballs have too much hit or HP for you to kill them with your weak little laser right off the bat, but they don't really follow you around. They just come off the screen at a position you were at previous. So they're easily avoidable, and those red enemies are the ones that are going to make your day a little more miserable if you aren't paying attention, because they follow you around for a couple seconds. The skulls aren't really worth worrying about yet either. You don't have the damage output to worry about them. And now we've reached hell level 3 and our first blob enemy. I am going to pause the game real quick because these blob enemies are important and you will see them for the rest of your playthrough. The blobs all have different patterns of shooting. You've noticed the projectiles coming out. Some of them fire small projectiles, some of them fire big ones, some of them fire them straight out in patterns, some of them have the bullets do little dances after they are fired out. Everyone is different, so I recommend staying at the bottom of the screen so that you get an idea for what the pattern is, and then you can either attempt to shoot it to death or use your shield to kill it. There is a combination later on where 2 of them will come out at the same time. I highly recommend trying to get one of them with your shield and then backing off. But it happens very quickly, so just be careful of that. They sometimes do come out 2 at a time, although it is relatively rare. Usually there will only be 1 of them. And then once you kill them, they are the ones that typically drop coins or power-ups. And that's most of the basics here. We've already reached level 5. Again, watch out for those red enemies. I actually did a dumb there and got hit. And you just don't have the firepower early on to deal with those eyeballs or skulls without using your shield, so I recommend avoiding that until you get a couple of your upgrades in. We did reach hell level 6 already. As I said, you might very well, as you can see, this enemy had a heat-seeking bullet pattern. We reached level 6, and it gets significantly more difficult from this point out. This, I know I paused it so that the circle has a different color, but they are red. And these circles spawn those little red enemies with the teeth that will follow you around for a few seconds. So I highly recommend trying to use the shield to take them out quickly, because the longer, every like 5 seconds or so, it felt like they would spawn another one of the little red dudes, and then you have to not only avoid the circle and try to kill it, but avoid the little red dude following you around. Later on in the game, there are a couple of these circle enemies that spawn eyeballs, which is actually easier in my opinion, but it makes it more difficult to kill them with bullets. So keep that in mind as well. Most of these circles will spawn the little red dudes, but you will get to, I think like hell level 10 or something like that. They start spawning eyeballs as well on occasion, so keep that in mind. And we're almost dead here. And this pattern always got me killed. As you can see, the bullets go all over the place, and sometimes you might get lucky and get some of them that the patterns are simple, and there might be a pattern that you just have trouble with. That one was one of them for me. So that was our first death. We're going to go back to the upgrade screen and cover all the upgrades, and then we'll go through one more run and skip ahead to the later footage. So I highly recommend using whatever coins you got to upgrade your movement speed first, but we will cover all of that once we go back. I was just kind of heading through and figuring everything out for myself. So this first main upgrade area here is your life, your movement speed, your clear area, and your clear speed. Life, obviously, is getting you extra hit points. That is fairly important to focus on as you go through. I highly recommend, as I've already said, putting as many upgrades into your movement speed as possible right off the bat. Movement is very important in this game. And then the clear area and clear speed upgrades here are also very important. I prioritize the clear speed over the area. Area increases the size of your shield bubble, and speed increases the or decreases the time it takes to recharge. And getting the shield back to use it is more important to me than getting a wider area of use. So I do recommend prioritizing the clear speed over the clear area. And I think we got a couple seconds here that until we go to the next. But the next one is the main weapon. The main weapon is just your bullets that you fire with A. And again, you have your bullets damage, your bullets, and your fire rate. I highly recommend upgrading bullets to level 1 first, and then doing 2 or 3 levels of bullet damage and fire rate before you purchase the second bullet. That's how I handled my upgrades. No, that's basically self-explanatory. The secondary weapon is our missiles. Now, you don't start with any missiles, so I don't worry about them very much. You can get a missile upgrade through your levels or through your runs, but honestly, I didn't find the missiles worth dropping money into over the other upgrades. As you can see, you have to spend $100 to get a missile, and like every 3 to 5 seconds, if you're holding down the fire button, a missile fires out and will go attack something that is next to you. It does appear to be heat-seeking, essentially. So, but I don't go out of my way to purchase any of these upgrades in my playthrough. Obviously, if you feel like they do good damage for you, then then follow whatever upgrade path you'd like. Maybe you have more experience with shmups than I do, and think it will serve you better. But for me personally, I didn't really feel like the money spent on the missiles was worth it compared to upgrading any of my other things. So. And then the final upgrade category is for your next run. You won't be doing anything in here very often. The bonus ×2 and the Satan level 10 are useless. Never purchase those. The Satan one specifically just spawns a boss in at level 10, which makes it more difficult for you to get to level 12. So don't bother with that. Once you are regularly getting to level 10 and 11, I recommend purchasing the coins 2 times every run. As long as you're able to collect 75 coins, which would get you 150 and recoup your losses per run, then it's worth doing that every time. And if you're making it to level 10 or 11, you're getting far more than 75/150 coins per run. So early on here, you're not going to be worrying about that, but once you're getting to level 10 regularly, purchase the coins 2 times upgrade every time you make it back to the upgrade screen. And there we go. That is all of the upgrades and my ideas for how you should upgrade as you go through. We're going to do one more run here, and then we're going to be jumping ahead in the footage quite a bit. Now, again, until you upgrade your damage or your bullets or anything like that, those eyeballs at the beginning just aren't worth going out of your way for. They'll just distract you, and you might get killed by the skulls that come in or the red teeth enemy that follows you around. And I don't really recommend worrying about it early on. Later on, once you upgrade your firepower, then you'll be able to use those eyeballs to up your combo meter, and that's, I believe, how you get a higher score and point total overall for those 3 achievements. But again, I was so busy with playing the game, I didn't really have time to tell what the score was doing during my run, so... And I don't claim to be very good at shmups. I never have. It's not that I don't enjoy them, but they were never my primary, genre of video game. So I actually have really enjoyed going through the Panda Indie Studio shmups that East Asia Soft has ported to the Xbox. So I appreciate that they brought these, because for someone who doesn't want to spend 15 hours on a shmup, they're relatively quick, they're fun, and then you get the 1,000 gamer score from them. So it's like I said, these wheels are probably the most annoying enemies because they spawn those little red dudes. As you can see, we got a missile upgrade here, so if you watch when I fire, it's hard to tell. They do come out relatively quick, but a missile is coming out every couple of seconds. And the missile goes and attacks whatever is firing at you, and it just didn't really feel like the damage it was doing was worth spending my coins on in between runs. So I didn't. And there's one of my favorite patterns again. This one was a little bit more recognizable, and then I got killed by the eyeballs. So we're going to jump ahead in the footage here. This is the run that got me to level 12 earlier than I expected to. As you can see, I have 2 HP now. I'm firing far more bullets at a time, and I have an upgraded bubble shield as well. So I can mostly shoot the eyeballs now to get the combo meter up. Although at this point it doesn't mean a whole lot. There you can see there's one of the double blob enemies, and I was able to use the shield to take it out before both of them started firing at me. And now I believe I got a fire rate upgrade, so I'm able to kill the eyeballs in succession as well. And that eyeball... or the fire rate upgrade is amazing. There's a couple of times I think I got 1 or 2 fire upgrade drops throughout my run, and it made killing enemies a cinch. Like, once you start piling up the power-ups, I just got a +2 HP power-up there. Once you start... If you manage to not get hit and build up your power-ups, you become a force to be reckoned with. And it's a lot of fun. Admittedly, as someone who's kind of stayed away from the shmup genre for a while, I've enjoyed going through these games. the progression balances out very nicely. It doesn't feel like, I'm sure you've all played games with upgrade systems, but the game just also feels like it upgrades the enemies, so your upgrades don't really mean anything. The upgrades in this game made me feel like I was actually getting more powerful, and that's a very important feeling for a video game to hit. You don't want to feel like you're getting upgrades only for the enemy to counter them. The idea is for me to be able to get more powerful and get further along. And this game nailed that feeling very well, in my opinion. So, but as you can see, fire rate's going up, damage is going up. We get relatively easy blobs to kill, and we're using our shield not only to protect ourselves, but also to kill the enemies like this that become more bullet spongy. And now I got another bullet upgrade. And still managing to use my shield to protect me. And we've made it up to Hell level 8. The skulls can become very troublesome. They're difficult to kill with bullets. And they are able to fire bullets at you. As you can see, there's one of those circles that does the eyeball thing. Makes it much more difficult to shoot at, to kill. But the skulls can be very difficult because they fly in generally at you and fire bullets at you. So keep an eye out for the skulls. Don't let them trap you with because they usually spawn with the eyeballs, and while the eyeballs aren't anything special, the skulls can be annoying if you aren't prepared for them. But as you just saw there, maneuverability allows you to avoid those red enemies that follow you around and makes it significantly easier. Oh, hey, there's a 3 blob grouping that I forgot about. But maneuverability is very important for getting through these runs. And we got more missiles. But I believe they're still doing base damage. You can see we're firing 4 or 5 bullets at a time. We got another damage upgrade, so we're going to be doing even more damage. Like I said, the upgrades can be the difference in making your runs. Currently have 4 hit points. That red circle was dropping the bullet enemies, but we were killing them so fast it was hard to tell. We got another bullet upgrade, so we have 4 hit points, which means we can be hit 5 times before we die. And now we just have to get through level 11, but we are absolutely destroying things. I did get hit there. But again, using the shield to kill some of these enemies will save you a lot of stress. But I do get hit quite a lot here. I don't know if I get careless as much as I just get overwhelmed. And our fire rate jumps all the way up here. I'm not sure if I got a power-up or if it was related to me, almost dying or what. But we managed to survive till Hell level 12. There is the difficult achievement for getting to Hell level 12. And we got some insane fire rate here now. And I don't know why we have it. But I actually believe that I survived for another level or 2 simply because of the fire rate. As you can see, there's quite a lot that's going on there. We got some more bullets to fire, made it to Hell level 13, and these enemies are dying really fast. Some of them are dying before they can even start firing anything. I love it. We made it to level 14. I love being able to just stack power-ups upon power-ups and being overpowered and feeling like, you know, I survived this long, I got the power-ups, now I can destroy everything. So, as you can see, we got our point totals, we got our level 12 total or achievements. I'm not entirely sure if I stopped to check what achievements we still need here, but yeah, there we go. So we still need the kill 500 foes and kill 2,000 enemies. At that point, you shouldn't really be able to make it that far without some good upgrade drops. And we got some good upgrade drops, so I go and purchase the 2x coin, and then I think, what do we do here? Focus on bullet fire rate and damage, and then we head back in. And as you can see, I'm not anywhere near to maxing out my ship. So, in all honesty, I shouldn't have been able to make it to level 12. I don't consider myself that good of a shmup player, but we got upgrades and were able to grab them that helped us immensely. So that is kind of the difference in being able to make it in 35 minutes and making it in 45 or 50. So we only have like 2 or 3 more runs here, I think, before the footage runs out, and I'm going to stay with you guys until we get all 1000 G then here. But we've kind of gone over all of the tips and tricks. You know, learn to use your shield, try to collect the power-ups, watch out for those red guys, but don't worry about the eyeballs early on until you level up your damage output, because you just can't kill them. And it really is just a matter of beating your head against the wall. As you can see up in the upper right-hand corner, we already got 5,000 points and we're on level 5. So chaining enemy kills is super important, but you're probably not going to get to, you know, 50k while watching, because once you get to those later levels, there is so much going on the screen that you're not going to be able to even take your eye off for a second to check what your point totals are. It's just going to happen by the merits of running around and killing everything that is on screen. And if you've been watching, there are times when I've made mistakes. I've tried to kill things with the shield and missed. And the maneuverability, the movement speed upgrades were what allowed me to stay alive longer. So just something to keep in mind. You don't have to be perfect. God knows I am not. But if you're not perfect, you know, the upgrades can be your saving grace, as the power-ups dropped specifically can be your saving grace, but you are going to want to spend money on the upgrades in between your runs as well. And again, some of those blob patterns are just difficult to time, especially if you don't see them very often, which... So there's the 500 kills. So all we need now is to collect some more coins. And I think I die on this run. I don't think this is our last run. I think we need one more before we get that coin achievement. But as I'm playing through here, you can actually watch the combo meter. Like, my gosh, it just went up 2 times 12, and we hit 50k on level 9 because of the enemies that are spawning the eyeballs in. So, now that I'm not paying attention to what's going on the screen, it's interesting to watch the combo meter and score total going up. And I can actually figure out what's going on from that. So, well, we got about 3 minutes left. There we go. I died there. I thought so. I thought we had one more. And I was hopeful that maybe I had missed it popping, but nope, we still got one more run here, Bonkekook, and then we will be done. We will have your 1,000 gamer score, and you'll have another completion to add to your trophy case. However much time left in the video is about how long the run is going to be. I'm going to end the video relatively quick once we get our 1,000 Gs. But I appreciate you guys spending your time with me and giving me the views. I would appreciate, obviously, respectful criticism on if you preferred this, or if you prefer me talking while I play, or if you want to see, you know, the entirety of the footage instead of me stopping and starting and talking over things. You know, let me know what you guys think. I'm hoping to bring you a lot more content like this, and the more I can cater to some of you guys and gals, the more hopefully I can get you more content that you enjoy. So I am working my way through learning all of this stuff, as I've said multiple times, and you know, content creators are here to create content for people to look at, so I need to listen to the people, you know? Let me know if, let me know your thoughts, and I will be more than happy to entertain the idea of changes if you feel that it's necessary. So, we're just about done here. I managed to get that last achievement right before I died, and we got our 1,000 Gs and our 18 achievements. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know down below. I will be more than happy to answer them to the best of my ability. But if you don't have any questions or comments, I do recommend and beg, specifically, like all content creators, to do the like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And then check out my website. There's a link to my website that has even more achievement content attached to it. And the link is in the description. It's at legwalkthroughs.com. But if you don't have anything to say to me, and then I will see you guys in the next video.